Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back. Another episode, off season, jumping into it with the Saints Block Party podcast coming at you, presented by Precious Works LLC. And what a just incredible weekend of football we got to take in. Truly one of the best playoff weekends of football I can ever recall.
Easily. Especially Wildcard weekend.
And that's just, and if you are new to the show or newer to our podcast, in the past, we've typically, in the off season, because the Saints have not been in any postseasons recently, we've always reflected on, it's usually just the Super Bowl in terms of we look at the Super Bowl teams and talk about, how far the team is away and what they need to do to improve to get back to that stage. But as I was watching the games this weekend, Wildcard weekend, I wanted us to do this episode for Wildcard weekend and just looking at the matchups, looking at the teams, of how far the Saints really are away in terms of building themselves to be a playoff team and what they need to improve on to one, get back in the dance, and two, not just get back in the dance, to actually be competitive and win playoff games and be a contending team. If you are new to the show, Adam, joined by my co-host, my friend, my buddy, my pal, Ryan, aka Wolf. And I guess we could kind of want to go in the games in chronological order, but gotta address the elephant in the room, or
what I learned today, Lord, I can't use that no more.
The what? In the what pile? The what?
What's in the wood pile? Did they say?
Anyway, from America has been so racist
everywhere, bro. Look close enough, you're gonna find a little sprinkle of racism.
Bro, America been so racist for so long, bro. Anyhow, if you don't know what we're talking about, look up the idiom "elephant in the room" that is now called that, but it was derived, from another idiom way back when, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. And that's what I love about our Discord. If you're not part of our community, patreon.com/SlingsBarkParty, bro, the
range of topics we talk about,
bro,
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The range of topics.
From last night to this morning, bro, just the Media Gate thing with Mia, and she was like, she's dead, Adam. Just so. Anyway, sorry. I forgot what I was even talking about. Oh, elephant in the room. Let's talk about this AJ Brown thing. Let's just get it out the way. Let's knock it out the park. Okay. Writing potentially is on the wall for AJ Brown's career to come to an end. Not career, but his career in Philadelphia to come to an end this offseason. Not even potentially by trade. He just may be cut in Philly. And it's one of those things where I truly go back and forth on in terms of if he's a free agent. I do think highly wink wink nudge nudge. I do think the Saints would be interested in AJ Brown. I don't know if that would be reciprocal. But the idea of adding an AJ Brown to this team, it gives me a little a cringe a little bit of just it could work. As people who have listened and watched and all this for this show, if you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you. Like and subscribe. We are the fucking champions of saying how much this team needs juice. Have been screaming it for absolute fucking years. You go back to listen to our episodes from 2020 when the team was a playoff. We have been screaming for this team to add juice. But I don't know if the AJ Brown thing would potentially work out for this team. He'd be 29. He's going to get at least 30 million just for who he is and what have you. I think he could cook with Tyler Shuck. Don't get me wrong. I think him and Tyler Shuck could absolutely cook, but it's always the other things when it comes to AJ Brown. And I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It is like, I was thinking about it earlier. Like, who would I rather pay? AJ Brown or George Pickens? Even the two totally different, different like things. You know, they have different attitudes and stuff. But both are, dogs and can really help our team. But I was thinking, who would I rather pay?
Let me flip this on. Who do you think? Because I think this is what it boils down to. Like, take away on field. Take away on field. Who do you think would fit better into the locker room? And more importantly, who do you think that Kellen Moore could, quote unquote, hold accountable more? Because that's the way I really think of what it boils down to.
Yeah. It'd probably be AJ Brown, because they just have experience with each other, maybe. But I don't know. It's like, the team just doesn't really match. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it was still like Drew Brees and you had like a bunch of the dogs in the locker room, that's just like, I feel like a little like better about it. Like they can manage it. But man, it's such like a young
team, bro.
Young team that's just kind of trying to find itself. Don't even know how to win yet. It's like, I just wouldn't mess with it right now.
Like I feel like the timeline doesn't align with the AJ Brown, even with the George Pickens things. And I would think he may be for sure more likely become a free agent between like him and Alec Pierce, just because like there were times in Dallas where even though he had a great season, like he just completely like took himself out of games, mentally took himself out of games this season. And like, those are the things, bro, I'm just like, bro, like this is a team where like the vibes are good. The locker room vibes are good. It just doesn't feel like the foundation is.
Or to see Cat asking Kellen questions after the game. What happened to George Pickens after in the third quarter or fourth quarter, whatever? We didn't see him on the sideline.
Just like, on the sideline, just wearing a shiesty, just pissed off, bro.
Kelly be like, George, George is fine. He's fine. He's fine. He just had a thing.
That's why, like, the Alec, and I don't think he's getting out of India. I think he's, staying, whether it be an extension, whether it be tag. But like, that's why if they were to pay a lot of money for a receiver in free agency, like an Alec Pierce would make more sense.
Yeah, just clean,
Just Sherm said AJ Brown body language was telling nope, don't want it. It was just something to me that it stood out to me that like after he won the Super Bowl last season, like he still wasn't content. Like right after, like literally right after the Super Bowl ended, like he had like an Instagram post of like him, like not like it was just, and like as like a person, as a fan, I'm like, nigga, if the winner of the Super, like, and I think there's a difference between a player who's always striving for greatness and wants to be great and has that that gene, like Tom Brady, like Drew Brees, like we've seen. But then at some point, like I just asked, like what is enough? Like you won the Super Bowl, and like it was just like he kind of worded like he felt like it would be like it would feel different. I'm just like how, like what satisfies you? Like what brings you joy?
I don't know, bro. Like, and you just don't want that stuff to become a negative aura. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fine to be super competitive, but don't let it just become a negative aura where it just kind of bring people down. And, the vibe ain't right. You got people asking your quarterback about it every week and all of that. It's like, nobody want to deal with all that, man. Nobody want to deal with that.
The juju, I don't know, bro. But like, I guess that's looking at it from a pessimistic standpoint. On the flip side, bro, he can come to New Orleans. Kellen is cooking up stuff for him and Olave. Shuck getting him the ball.
It's a little different, but like, look at, even though he's had some off-field things still going on, But like Stephon Diggs in New England, like he had his issues with the Bills, went to Texans and didn't really do much, was injured, blah, blah, blah. And went to New England, has been productive now. Like I said, he has all field stuff, but like on the field, like it's been fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? With a young team and all that stuff, but you got Mike Vrabel and,
Right.
like a strong, leadership over there. We still trying to figure out what Kellen got going on, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, so I
It's
don't know.
funny
It
you bring
could
up.
work.
It could. It's funny you bring up Diggs because I'll never forget. I think it was the Minnesota Miracle game. I want to say where the Vikings were up in that game, and I just I remember this was during the game because I didn't go back and watch shit like I'm Marty from Ozark or something, but he's like on the side, like he's on the sideline, like throwing a tantrum,
Yeah.
like, and they're up,
Remember.
and like I remember back then I was like, bruh, like I get it, like great players want to play great, they want to get the ball, they want to make plays, I get that. But it's like, bro, you up in a playoff game, nigga. Like even then I was like the vibe of Diggs and it just was just off to me. Like, so I don't know, man. Like there's just a thing about that I have.
Those type of players, bro, like nothing wrong with bringing them in, but you just got to know it's kind of like C Deuce. It's like a time clock on it. You know what I'm saying? Like about a year or two, okay, we good. We've had enough. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the talent is there, so it's like they're always going to get chances.
Wesley said Kellen seems way too focused on building up the culture right now. I don't think AJ comes down here. I don't, like, to be fair, like I don't think if he is or were to be cut, I don't think he would come to the Saints. But I'm heavily putting it out there that if he is cut, I'm very, very sure that the Saints are going to be very interested in him.
Absolutely.
It just makes sense. Dante said, it's crazy but juicy. Extend Olave, AJ Brown in free agency, Jeremiah Love in round 1.
Mm-hmm. That could be juicy or like just a disaster. But into next year, you just like, man, what the hell was they thinking? They really thought there was that squad,
huh? Andrew Stevens, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Said, what's up, fellas? Mickey finna try to draft an O-line bet. It's possible. Yeah. Possible. If you haven't had a chance to yet, Wolf and I did our first Prospect of the Week episode for this draft season. We did it on Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson. And so that's a Patreon only episode or a YouTube member episode. So if you want to watch or listen to our breakdown on Jordan Tyson, wide receiver from Arizona State that we did yesterday, become a Patreon or a YouTube member. Patreon, you can do it for just $1, as low as $1 a month, patreon.com/LanceBlockParty. Or a YouTube member, you can become a YouTube member as low as $4.99 a month. But anyhow, let me just catch up on the chat real quick. Coolyon 10 said, I want to draft a wide receiver, but I have a weird feeling we're going to draft Peter Woods. Might be a good feeling. Coolyon. Might be a good feeling.
Man, I saw that tweet where like Peter Woods' advanced statistics show.
Oh, you saw that one?
He was up there with like all the top pass rushers in the past couple. I'm like, man, Jeff Riley gonna have all them little stats, bro.
All of them, bro. All of them, bro. I know we're gonna get to Peter Woods for a Prospect of the Week episode.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I actually want to dig into that one.
It'll be interested because I feel like, I think us having me and you having, a game from 2024 and a game from 2025, and it's going to be very interesting to see kind of the fall off or what his play level is or was. Mm-hmm. Shout out to our dude Chris, much love, $50 super chat.
Man, much love, Chris.
If we get AJ Brown in free agency, I already know we're going offensive line, defensive line in round 1, 11 years straight, first round pick in the trenches. That'd be crazy, bro. I mean,
Crazy.
that's insane.
Uh,
Much love. Appreciate you, Chris.
much love.
But let's discuss the first game and of Wildcard weekend, which was the Panthers versus the Rams in Carolina. Everyone thought it was going to be this crazy blowout, and it looked like it was going to be that to start. And then the Panthers fought back. You have Bryce Young probably playing his best game of his career. I'll say my takeaway from that game is, and there's going to be certain takeaways that are common throughout some of these games, but my takeaway from that game, one, Saints need tight ends, bro. Saints need tight ends. It's also a takeaway I had with the Bears and Packers game, but the Rams have 4 tight ends, Ryan. They have 4 tight ends. And one didn't even play Wildcard weekend. Terrence Ferguson, the Oregon rookie who they drafted in the second round this past draft, didn't even play. They had Kobe Parkinson, they had Tyler Higbee, Terrence Ferguson, I'm forgetting who their 4th tight end is. And it just allows that offense to be so multiple. I am kind of getting tired of hearing about the Rams 13 personnel because I just hear it from just fucking everywhere, bro. Like it just makes me want to bang my head in. But you see how effective it can be. Like if I'm the Saints, like that the catch that Kobe Parkinson had, bro, like in the inside touchdown, like good lord. If I'm the Saints, and the Saints are gonna potentially find themselves in that same position where, you know, maybe a lot of free agents don't want to come to New Orleans, maybe because of like agents and what have you, maybe not having the best relationship with Mickey. But like Tyler Higbee is going to be a free agent in the offseason, bro. Like if that's not someone who, and I've said this on a previous episode, if that's not someone who's like tailor made for Kellen and his system, can come in and just be a tight end too. You could even argue if a healthy Tyler Higbee, in terms of what he does on the field, schematically is probably a better player than Juwan. Even though Juwan just had his best season of his career, they gotta improve at tight end, bro. It's a must for them to be relevant again. Like Juwan and some slappies just ain't gonna do it.
Ain't gonna do it, bro. And you know, we talked about it before. Only gonna have 2 tight ends on the roster. You know, as of right now, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have Foster Moreau. He's a free agent. No point bringing him back. He's cooked. Taysom Hill, like he probably cooked. You just got Juwan Johnson and Moscato, you know what I'm saying? And we don't know what Moscato got going on. So they need like literally 2 tight ends just in free agency and probably draft a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they need it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a want, it's a need. And they really need to upgrade it because we saw it this offseason. They couldn't block. Juwan is not a blocker. They need guys who could block and catch. Like they need some dogs, bro. Like they need some dogs, some tight ends. The tight ends just make life so much easier. And it just opens up everything for your offense, especially Kellen. Kellen has shown that he can get creative when he has the tools at his disposal. And if you give him that, that man could cook something up, bro.
Chris brought up a good point, which I didn't realize, but it kind of makes sense. Said that Juwan is 30 next year as well.
So it is, man. Juwan old, bro.
We need some young. Like that's the thing is like even the juicy players.
But he played with Tyler Shucker College.
Makes me laugh every time. But like Juwan's 30. You know, Bailey's 27 or 28, however old Bailey is. Like it's like the team needs some young ass juice, bro. Like it needs it.
That's another thing I pulled away from these playoffs. Like, and you know, just still sticking to the Panthers and the Rams. You know, the Rams going youth past couple of years, drafting their ass off on the defensive line, the tight ends. Everywhere, bro. You just see that infusion of youth that they've, focused on, and how it's really just gave them the opportunity to, reset the clock and open a new window for them to potentially go to a Super Bowl.
It has. Another takeaway I had from the same game, and I said this like in the Discord, and I said it a little like facetiously, but like maybe not. But like I could see like Mickey Loomis seeing like the Panthers with Coker and Tet going like, oh shit, we got that at home with Olave and Bailey, baby. Like shit.
That pissed me off when you said that, bro. 'Cause I'm like, man, that's true. Like I know he would look at it and be like, got that already? Shit.
Shit. We done flipped them niggas twice this season anyway. We need juice. But Bailey and Olave at home.
Like, can we find a Coker? Like, damn, that boy dog. You know, like, can we find something like that? Shit.
Undrafted free agent from Holy Cross. The Saints will tell you, well, we had that player. His name was Rashid Shaheed. Woof. They tried to coach.
Okay. I hear that. Can we do one again? Like, can we find one again, please? You know?
And another thing that stood out to me, and this is just not just from this playoff game, but just kind of you see a lot of the Rams games lately, is that, and I've harped on this, but like the pro scouting for the Saints is just I don't feel like it's been up to par to what it's been over in the past. Just an example from this game, the fact that the Rams were able to bring in like this kind of backup linebacker and Landman from the Falcons, who was kind of like this journey guy. And the fact that he signed with them for like a cheap deal in the offseason and just has been a fantastic middle linebacker for them, green dot player, and got a contract extension during this season. Like I came in, like, when's the last time something like that has happened? Like for this, like I feel like it's like DeMario, like the last, like it feels like DeMario was like the last one, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. Like Chase Young, he was like a big name, like first round, number 2 overall with him. But like just finding those gems in free agency, it really hadn't been much in a while, bro. Probably DeMario, you're right, probably the last one, man. And you gotta hit on those. Like those are the difference makers when you're able to find those hidden gems on tier 2, tier 3 free agency that nobody's really worrying about. Man, that changes everything, and we know that because the Saints have done that in the past.
Perfect example from this game as well. Even I'm not saying that the Saints need like secondary help, but I mean they probably wouldn't poo-poo it. Michael Jackson, bro. Michael Jackson was stellar,
balling,
stellar for the Panthers in that game.
Was balling, man. I was like, man, this guy.
And that's someone who, like, I remember when he was in Seattle, and I remember, him flashing in Seattle a couple of times and kind of got, lost in the shuffle in the league. And, Evero, they added him in free agency and brought him in. And him and Horn played great on Saturday before Horn went out with the concussion. And almost had the interception that won the game for the Panthers, had Puka not, broken the play up. But like those like at the margin type of signings that then become a pivotal key part of your team changes like the whole trajectory of your team.
Yes, absolutely. And depth. I mean, it's not the most sexiest thing, but one thing we've seen in this playoffs is like
depth,
oh
bro.
My God, depth is the most important thing, bro, because everybody hurt. Everybody is hurt, and no one cares.
Everybody hurt.
And nobody cares. No one cares. Nobody is going to feel sorry for you. It doesn't matter. Like, you have to get back out there and literally just play. So, and sometimes, like, you find, like, I mean, we'll get to the game, but Eric Kendricks out there making big plays.
Bruh,
you know what I'm saying?
That was my biggest takeaway watching that game is like, and I tweeted, I said, I don't want to hear Mickey I don't like the injury shit, bruh. I don't want to hear it, bro. If Kyle Shanahan could take this team to the divisional round of the playoffs with as many injuries that they've had defensively this season, I don't want to hear another thing about injuries ever again, bro. I don't. Wolf. I don't. I've seen it. That's anything else from like Rams, Panthers that stood out to you in terms of something that the team could take away.
Not really, man, but it's just interesting to me where the Panthers are in general because, like, how do you Like if you're them, like if you're the GM, like what do you really come away with from this season? You know, because it showed some positives. They won some games. They got in the playoffs. You saw some positives from Bryce Young, but still, the defense is not good. It's nothing I could just really hang my hat on with this team. You know, it's
the only
just,
thing you can hang your hat on is it's weird. Like if I'm thinking about the Panthers, there's Derek Brown, there's J.C. Horn. You feel confident in Coker. You feel confident in Tetsuo McMillan.
yeah.
Like that's really. I mean, I think that's it.
And even with Bryce Young, is like he could pop up with a game every night, and it's just like, oh man, he is playing well, but the consistency has just not been there at all.
And our girl Jordan Rodriguez put out an article about saying like the Panthers should be hopeful of the future for what Bryce showed. I would just say this, and this is I wonder if the Saints are taking the similar approach with Tyler Shuck because it was just, a small sample size this past season, is that as great as he played against the Rams on Saturday, sometimes teams make the mistake of overreacting to like a great game or like a small sample size. So I don't use Tyler Shuck in this example, but I use like Will Levis as another example, right? In his rookie season, where he popped and made some, won some games for the Titans. His rookie season had some good games, multiple touchdown games, looking like he was like, their potential franchise quarterback. And which is crazy because like that's a big reason why that's a huge reason why Mike Vrabel is no longer the Tennessee head coach, because he didn't believe in Will Levis. He thought he was trash. And the ownership and GM at the time was like, no, like this is gonna be the quarterback. And so I think you just have to be, and I'm a Saints fan, so whatever, fuck the Panthers and hope that they have continued not success. But just from a football standpoint, I just think you got to be careful with that, taking that performance from Bryce in the playoffs and then trying to extrapolate it, because he's been consistently who he is. I also think there is also room to that, like quarterbacks need room to grow, and
absolutely.
And in the league overall is very quick on giving up on quarterbacks too soon. We've seen it, plenty of times. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield.
Exactly.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if the Vikings did something similar with JJ McCarthy. But it's just it's interesting. And if you're the Saints, right? I was thinking watching that game is like, man, I wonder how PO the Saints are for like thinking like maybe that they should be playing the Rams, and not. And I was just thinking like, man, if we were playing the Rams, let's say the Saints had won that Dolphins game and then they beat the Falcons in week 18. They would have won the NFC South, which is absolutely fucking wild, by the way.
Insane, bro.
It would have welcomed the Rams in Wildcard weekend in New Orleans.
And you know what? I think the Saints would have played theirs. Like I know they stumped us earlier in the year, but I think where Shuck like grew from that end, I think it would have been a game. I ain't saying they would have won, but I think it would have been a game, bro. I really think it would have been a game, which would have been like, can you imagine that, bro? Like if the Saints tied full quarter against the Rams,
bruh.
Like what is happening
on the live stream, Wolf? Oh my god.
What is happening right now?
I'll say this, bruh. Which would you have rather been? This is something I wanted to ask you. Then we'll take our first break and then kind of get into the rest of these games. Which would you have rather been? Would you have rather been in the situation where the Panthers, where you get into the playoffs, you have a great showing like you just had against the Rams, and you potentially have this hope for the future, but you're picking 19th in the draft, or be the Saints, where your quarterback shows great promise in his rookie season towards the end of the season, but with the losses earlier in the season and a couple of losses later in the season, you're picking 8th for long term for the future.
I mean, obviously, I would pick the Saints. I would rather be the Saints, but putting myself in like a Panthers fan shoes, like they've had some down years, bro, for a while, like a long time, bro. Yeah. So like to me, their stadium was rowdy.
It
was a good game. Like
it was, bro.
If I was a Panthers fan, I just would have been just to have that moment, bro. Because y'all haven't had nothing to be excited about in years, man. So just that infusion of excitement, I think it was worth it. Like, okay, you're picking 19, okay, well, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? You'll get over it. But for the Saints, like I don't want to. I'm good. I'm good sitting at home, bro.
Dante said, only for me to have a heart attack because Kool-Aid and Alante get done in by Puka late in the fourth. I'm good. I can see it clear as day, Wolf. Clear as day,
Clear as day, bro. Alante doing that little run.
Seeing this anti-Semitic motherfuckers flexing in the end zone. Get me out. Don't want it. Will not sign up for that. Anyway, let's take our first break, and we'll be back and break down the rest of these games and tie it into the Saints and how they can improve for the future right after this. Yo, what up, Wolf? What are you looking at?
Man, I'm checking out this website. This site is cheeks, bro.
In 2025? How do you have a crappy website? Couldn't be me.
They need to hit up our guy Bijan with Precious Works. Precious Works offers to not only build you a website that's tailored to you and your customers' needs, but also to continue to manage and maintain it so you can focus on your business. Don't have much time? Precious Works is just what you need. No out-of-the-box stuff like Squarespace or Wix. Precious Works will create a site for you. You won't have to worry about plug-in updates, security, or things like that because Precious Works will maintain all of that and be available to you 24/7. Bijan set up Saints Block Party Podcast website for us a few years ago and hit it out the park. He also keeps it up to date and helps us anytime we want to add something new like a form or the prospect matching tool that we did for the NFL draft. It's like having your own personal developer just a text or a call away. Precious Works has worked with everyone from small businesses to large firms, so no job is too big or too small. If you're in the need of a website or you currently have one, but you want to upgrade it, give Bijan a holler at Precious Works. You can get with him at Bijan at Precious Works, BIJON at precious.works, or go to precious.works for his website. Make sure to tell him Saints Block Party sent you.
We are back.
I'm looking at this Steelers Texans game. What the hell?
I don't know, bro. I came up and it was
30-6. What the?
I came up, it was close as hell. Then I took a peek and I saw it was like 26-9 or 6 or 2. I was like, what happened?
Over. It's final now. It's 30-6, man. Freaking Sheldon Rankins returned a fumble for a touchdown. Then there was a pick six. Like what?
Get this nigga out my face. Get out my face, Wolf.
Right.
Now this nigga want to be a green. Now this motherfucker want to be a green. All right, bro. This is what's gonna happen with Peter Woods too, bro. You know, this is my theory when it comes to like for the Saints to draft the defensive tackle, like that tape gotta be like exquisite to me. Like it gotta
exquisite,
be
man.
Pristine. Rankins, I'd never felt it the entire process. Just did not feel like I felt he was like fine. And like
fine, bro.
He had like he had a season and a half where he played really well. The rest of the seasons he was hurt or just played meh. I just felt go ahead.
What's crazy is I could see Brissy having like a similar arc to his career. You know what I'm saying? I could just see him like 3-4 years from now on some team. Like, oh, look at Brissy making a sack. Like, it's just like just still playing, making plays in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could just see him on that type of arc.
I could also see that also becoming Peter Woods, like him being like a decent to good player, but like largely overwhelming.
Got enough of that, bro. We got a lot of fine DTs. A lot of fine.
All right, got 31 concurrent viewers, 171 views. Appreciate y'all. Everyone is asking me to do the shimmy. I'm not doing the shimmy. I'm not doing it. Shimmy's retired. It was that one episode. Rod said I wouldn't mind having MVS back on a cheap deal.
MVS is what it is, bro. Like MVS, Go catch those 2 balls.
People in the chat were saying AJ Brown was washed, and then Nighthawk said AJ Brown not washed. Situations can change a lot. I don't think he's washed. He did drop a lot of quite a few balls this season. Let's see. Let me just catch up on the chat before we dig in more. We need a young wide receiver, big body. Yes. Oh, someone asked us early in the chat, basically about the receivers, in terms of the receivers that we would want the Saints to draft or what have you. So what I'm going to say is this: we have a whole series of our Prospect of the Week episode that we are putting out every week, where we're talking about a prospect, and in those episodes we also have our cloud. So if you are a Patreon or if you're a YouTube member, at the end of each episode we have our clouds of the players ranked in terms of, if we were drafting from, my perspective and from Wolf's perspective. So check that out, because you'll have the insight of players that we like over who or what have you. So that was the first game, Wildcard weekend, and then after that was Bears Panthers, was it not? Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Man, that game that stuck with me. That was a game. Boy.
Game, bro. That throw Caleb had on 4th down might be one of the best goddamn throws I've ever seen in my life, Wolf.
That was some Michael Jordan shit right there, bro.
Insane. It I also, this is why I feel like, as fans overall, we have to just learn to be more patient, because the talent for Caleb was always there. It took him getting one thing that stuck out to me in that game, and I'm not saying that Kellen is not a good play caller and whatever, but Ben Johnson play calling was level, brother. Different level, bro. So him and Mike LaFleur, actually, because LaFleur was dicing up the DA defense in that first half. But my biggest takeaway, I would say, is from this game, 2 things. Ben Johnson imprinted his attitude on the Bears from the jump, from OTAs, from training camp, and made them a tough, physical, resilient team. It also showed that, if you're taking notes, Saints, that you don't have to build through the draft with O-line. The Bears O-line was not good at all. And he came in offseason, traded for Joe Tooney, all pro. Darrell Wright, they had already drafted in the first round. They did draft Ozzie Trapillo, who got injured in that game. They drafted him in the 3rd round of the draft. So it's this, I guess, the notion that the offensive line can be built in so many other ways except just 1st round picks. If you got to have the coaching, and you got to have the players. You have to hit on the players, but you also have that coaching to match up with that.
The vision.
But then it's how important that when you have a young quarterback, Caleb Williams is a year 2 quarterback, the 2 players that he was going most to in that game were rookies with juice.
Ain't that something?
Hello? Rookies with juice.
Colston Loveland and Luther Burden.
Luther Burden was my draft mate, bro. It made no sense to me why he was not a 1st round pick. If you just put on his Missouri tape, he was he was my wide receiver 1. He was my wide receiver 1 in last year's draft. And it just goes to show that when you are able to surround your quarterback with juice, that they it's this relationship where they help each other out, where you don't have to ask Tyler Shuck every game to go out and uplift the offense. Chris Olave gonna get his, and he does his thing, but Colston, you could argue right now that Colston Loveland is maybe a top 6 tight end in the league right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a rookie, if not higher.
You need guys that make plays, man. That's the one thing about the playoffs. Playoffs show you need dudes that make plays, man. Everything can't be schemed perfectly and perfectly drawn up. You need guys to stretch out for balls and make, insane athletic plays and stuff like that because the margins are so slim in the playoffs. Everybody's good. Everybody's playing physical. So just seeing like what Caleb was able to do, ridiculous. And he started the game horrible. Like he started the
Awful,
game bad.
bro.
He on the sideline crashing out. Like I'm like, man, this is going terrible. But it just shows you, like, man, you just got to keep plugging at it,
Resilient.
And one thing I like about the Saints is like they got a quarterback that's kind of built like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that will keep just like firing, what I'm saying,
bro.
until the end, And I can't wait to see him like in those big games. We haven't had those real big games yet.
Haven't, bro.
Can't wait to see how he handles those type of games. Big games, everybody watching.
I'm going to be very interested to just see how the team handles having expectations next season.
Ooh. Like that could be a doozy. Expectations ain't nothing nice, boy.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying it's easy, but like when you go into the season and like the expectation, and I know that they didn't have low expectations of themselves, but like the grand scheme, like the expectations around the league for the Saints were very low. But now going into 2026, you potentially have your quarterback going forward the future. Those expectations rise a little bit. So you go into games where now teams potentially aren't just like, oh, these niggas right here. We'll give our C effort. We're gonna come out and win. Like the Rams, when the Saints played the Rams this season in LA, the Rams were playing at a C level effort wise and smoked them. Smoked them. But when now you have a quarterback and it's put on film, like in team, like so, like defenses are like a little more perked up. Like, oh, he got an arm. Oh, he can run. Like
offensive rookie, yeah, okay.
Those expectations go up, and so for me, I'm just going to be interested to see how Kellen handles those expectations, how Shuck handles those expectations, because sometimes people can kind of crater when expectations are put on them, and
100%.
There are going to be expectations that this team has on them next season. Let's see. Stephen A. Smith, that's a weird thing to have as a handle. The Saints won't draft Peter Woods because he's a 3 technique, and the Saints use a 4 technique in their schemes. I would not bet any money on that. Justin Cash with $2 super chat. Appreciate you, Justin. Sign Bills guard Edwards and draft Tate or Downs. Would be fine with that. Hemisphere said the man Texans just got Tomlin fired and sent Aaron Rodgers to a retirement home.
Season just turned out exactly how everybody thought, bro. Grand opening, grand closing.
Grand closing. Anything else from Bears?
Oh, yeah, Packers? Absolutely. Kicker. Like,
thank you.
The Green Bay kicker cost them 7 points, 7 total points, missed 2 field goals and an extra point. They would have won a game. Like,
sounds familiar from a former kicker that was on the Saints this past season.
You can't mess around with that position. You just can't mess around with it, man. Like that literally cost them the game. They would be playing next week in the divisional round if they had just a good, solid kicker. And it was ridiculous.
And I don't know what Charlie Smith has been like. It's early, but he showed some inconsistencies too.
I wouldn't go into the season like, man, Charlie Smith's our guy. I definitely wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, I'm bringing in real competition, and like the goal should be like to have your kicking game solidified. You know what I'm saying? Because you just can't mess with that shit, bro. And LaFleur kept driving because he was playing to kick. I'm like, why are you playing to kick a field goal? Like, bro, have you not watched your kicker? Like, what? What are you doing? Like, I understand.
Bro, that shit would drive me earlier in the season because Kellen was doing the exact same shit, bro. Like, he was doing the same stuff with Groupie. And, like this nigga's missed, like, 2 kicks in this game. Like, what are you doing?
Why are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Speaking,
man.
Going back real quick to Panthers, Rams special teams almost cost them that game. A block punt.
Did.
Their Rams special teams have been ass all season. They fired their
all
special
season,
teams,
bro.
Fired their special teams coordinator. It almost came back and literally cost them the game, and they was almost going to, be out of the divisional round because Isaiah Simmons of all fucking people blocks his punt and
That's some shit.
sets up Panthers with great field position that they end up scoring a touchdown on that almost was the go-ahead touchdown for them to win the game. The Saints are a bottom team regarding special teams, and you hit on it so eloquently in the past that like fans just don't understand like the importance of special teams. Like it can win or lose you games, bruh.
Literally.
And so I don't know if they're gonna do anything about what's his name, Phil
Giuliano or something.
I don't know if they're gonna, but special teams got to be better for the Saints next season if they think they want to be anything in competing for an NFC title. Like special teams has to be better. It just has to be better.
No question.
Flipping over, one thing just staying with the Packers. They have some players like dropping balls and what have you, but the just abundance of juice that the Packers have is so annoying, bro. Like Romeo Dobbs, who's a free agent, Christian Watson, Matthew Golden. It's annoying. It is annoying.
I'm glad you brought up Matthew Golden. Like that was great because he's somebody who was looking like a bust this year, bro. Like wasn't doing nothing, and to come in and make the plays he did down the stretch, almost won him the game, bro. Almost won him the game. Just the plays he was able to make. So that's just another one of those. Goes to show you, like, don't count players out even early in the season or mid-season when, say, you draft a player and he ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes they just need a shot, man. That's why we always talked about, getting players on the field so they can get the shot so we can see, like, sometimes players aren't practice players. Sometimes players don't look good in practice during the week and stuff like that. Get them on the field. You put Matthew Golden caught a screen pass and, like, juked 8 players to get a touchdown. You can't do that in practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro. Some things that just gotta happen in a game, man. So, just one of those things we just got to keep a lookout for.
Something else that it's funny. It's not the same, but just how sometimes I just think offensive coaches can't help themselves. That in that Packers game, LaFleur, like there were some times he probably should have ran the ball more with Josh Jacobs and he didn't. And situations and circumstances are like completely different, but for like a split second did remind me of that Falcons game in week 18 where the Saints were driving and they were running the ball fantastically against a tired Falcons defense and getting good gains with Estime and Chuck had that long run, and then like they go to the pass and then leads to like the interception. Man, it's just offensive coaches for whatever reason. Like we've seen it with Sean Payton for years. It's taken him getting like mature and being in the league for a long time, but just that pressing like pass.
Yeah.
Like it's just something
it was driving me crazy in that game, bro. Like I'm like, why are you taking so many? Like all you need is like 10 yards. Why are you taking so many shots to the end zone?
Yeah,
it's like what are we doing here, man? Like those things just drive me crazy.
Same here. Let's take our last break of the show. Eugene Sutherland, shuck that from South Philly, fellas. Appreciate you, Eugene. Appreciate you coming back. We'll take our last break of the episode and we'll come back and wrap up the rest of these wildcard games and how the Saints can take things from them to get back into the playoffs right after this break.
Football playoffs are here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. Here's how it works. You make your picks, and if you're right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash, and you can play as little as $1. This week, I'm looking at the 49ers versus Seahawks matchup. I've got Christian McCaffrey for higher than 1 touchdown and JSN for lower than 60 yards. That's my card. Now it's your turn. So what you waiting for? Download the app today and use promo code BLOCKPARTY to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's Promo code Block Party. Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Appreciate y'all. We are back. We got 41 concurrent viewers, 236 views. Appreciate y'all. Randy Major said that throw Caleb Williams threw in the fourth quarter reminded me a lot of the throws Chuck threw against Atlanta to Juwan Johnson. I think they're just different type of. And this is not me being a homer. That Caleb throw is like it. No.
Caleb was insane, bro. Insane.
I don't. No, bro. Like
Chuck be having some throws now, bro.
He does. He does.
Chuck be having some throws.
I would say
that
the
Caleb
throw
was nuts.
Even that Caleb throw that he threw to win in overtime to DJ Moore was all.
Yeah.
Like, he's had some throws.
He's had like 8 throws this year though. That's like what in the world?
It just doesn't make any sense. Bills, Jags. Take away from this game. Don't want to talk about Mediagate. I'm already over Mediagate.
Please, please. Oh, God damn it.
One thing though, I will say is as complete as the Jags were defensively this year and played great with Josh Hines Island and Trevon Walker, Devin Lloyd. Just like, bro, like when you get to the playoffs and if you go against like a S tier quarterback, I'm just like I think not tomorrow, but like this upcoming week, Broncos Bills is going to be like a great case study for that. Sometimes, bro, it don't matter. It don't matter,
bro.
How good your defense is in 2020, like in just modern NFL football. Also, can we just talk very quickly of how idiotic the Saints were not to get anything from Buffalo for Brandon Cooks, bro?
Crazy, bro. He making plays.
And
nothing.
They were offered for him at the trade deadline, bro. Like even if you get in a 2027 6th or 7th round pick, to not get something for him is like it's that whole like loyalty and then letting him go. Like it's bad business, bro. It's bad business.
Bad business. But yeah, man, like one thing with the Jags, like just the turnaround they made was just unbelievable. Like to be as bad as they were last year and to be right there, in the playoffs, look good all year. But like you said, man, like Josh Allen carved him up. Like Josh Allen played like just good old fashioned quarterback in this game. It just like he just sliced him up, took him apart. Greg Newsome and forgot the other cornerback name. Just like tore him up, bro. Tore him to pieces. It was interesting though. Like games like this, bro, is like it just still goes to show you, like you could be feeling great. You could be on a run. You could feel like you're peaking at the right time. And, man, you get to them playoffs, bro. This reality hits you. It's like, man, we ain't ready. We not ready.
That's just final, bro.
Over. And look, like the Jags ain't done shit in years, and to finally get here, and now it's like they back home. And who knows? Like, yeah, we think, they probably think, we gonna be back. Be back next year. Sure. Like, are you sure?
Like, listen to NFL Daily. I forgot who said it, but like, Dan Campbell after that NFC Championship loss that the Lions had to the Niners, like,
yeah,
it's like I don't think people like that's. I was and I as the Eagles lost yesterday, I was like, the Chiefs really went to 3 Super Bowls in a row, bro. Like 3?
It's crazy.
3? It's hard to get to 1. They went to 3 in a row. Like, that's insane. That is nuts. And I know it's been done before, but just like in like recent modern day NFL for it to happen, like it makes not a whole bunch of sense. But you know, I just watching that game, and I completely forgot the start time of the Bills Jags game. I didn't start watching until like the second quarter, but having a top 3 quarterback is a cheat code. But I do think, and again, kind of going back to what I was saying about the Packers, offensive play callers, like you could argue that Liam Cohen should have ran the ball more with Travis Etienne and with Tootin, and because that was the Bills' weakness. I'll give Kellen this: like when they played the Bills early in the season, like and the Bills' run game was not good. Like he was spamming that shit with Kendre, and that shit was working. I just one thing I will say from this game, and I think we've seen from Chase Young much improvement. Miss me with pressure stats, bruh. Like the Jags had a lot of pressure against Josh Allen this past weekend. They had 1 sack on him. Like if you not converting those pressures into sacks, bruh, I'm not saying it doesn't matter. Like quick pressures matter, but like
but like if it's not affecting the quarterback, you know, it don't matter to me. I don't care that you pressured him. Like, did you affect the pass? Even if it's a sack, a hit, you knocked the ball out, you caused the error throw. Like you have to be disrupting and not just pressuring. You know what I'm saying? Pressure is. I'm not saying it's meaningless because, like, for the most part, they do correlate to sacks and hits and all that stuff, but it's just not the end all be all either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now, like nowadays, like pressures get used as a stat almost like sacks. Like, oh, so had 8 pressures in this game.
Yes.
It's like, okay, what does that mean exactly? 8 pressures. Like what? I got to see it. Like I actually got to see the 8 pressures to know whether he's like good pressures or was he just like a yard and a half behind the quarterback while he's moving up in the pocket and making a 10-yard throw. Like it does. Okay.
Perfect
example. That pressure did nothing.
Chase Young had a shit ton of pressures last season, but it didn't feel like he was affecting the quarterback at all a lot last season, as opposed to this season. Like we saw it. Like it. You saw it. Like that matters. It also like stood out to me just how with the Jags, like they have Devin Lloyd, who's a free agent. They have a lot of they have Travis Etienne, free agent. So I'm not saying that their window's shut. Like it things are probably looking good for Jacksonville. But like you said, man, there's a finality.
And time for their new GM to get to work because. I mean, I know they ran Trip Baalke out of there, but I like, man, Trip Baalke built y'all a little squad over the years, you know what I'm saying?
He did, bro. He did, bro.
Not a terrible dude to work with or whatever, but he had the talent rolling in.
I'm going to combine these last 2 games as we wrap this up. It was Chargers and Patriots, and then what I was able to see today from Steelers and Texans. Just completely skipped over Philly and Niners. That's my bad. Whoops. That's the game where you talked about like the importance of depth. And exactly. You had Demarcus Robinson go over like 100 yards. Brandon Ayuk hasn't played all season. Ricky Pearsall is constantly hurt. And then you had Demarcus Robinson just go out and get you, I believe, 100 plus receiving yards in that game. You had George Kittle get hurt, tore his Achilles early in that game, and then you're just kind of flip and just take Kyle Juszczyk, who becomes like a pseudo tight end, and was like the play calling that Kyle Shanahan did on Sunday, bro.
Cooking, bro. I mean, Brock Purdy threw 2 interceptions. And you still felt like they had the game handled, And part of that was like Philly's offense just was dead.
Bro, it's gross.
They couldn't do nothing. Like it was just their body language was horrible. They just looked like they wanted to be there.
It was yes.
I was like, what is going on over there? Like something in there stank. Like, they just tired of Jalen Hurts. Like something, I don't know.
They tired of Jalen Hurts. They tired of Nick Sirianni. Like I don't. It might be both, bro. I don't know.
It could be
both.
That's that's one thing I took away. Is like making sure you have like a pretty good building, a good locker room, whatever you want to call it. Like, because the vibes of like, the Eagles are loaded. They are healthy. Like they are top to bottom, all pros on every group. Like they should not. They should be in the playoffs still. Like they should be a good team. Makes no sense. They just won a Super Bowl, and it's like they just look like they ain't belong, bro. And it just goes to show you how like just having like a bad aura in the locker room or whatever's going on could sink any ship, bro. It could sink it.
That's why I started off with the whole AJ Brown thing of just how if the Saints went that route, I'm just like I have my reservations.
Another quick thing for that. Christian McCaffrey ran a Texas route. I posted in the Discord. A Texas route from this side. He's on the opposite side of the quarterback. Came out, faked like he was going this way in the end zone, and then jerked it back in and caught the touchdown pass. Kellen Moore. Like, can we get some of that scheming, bro? So our running backs. Like, I know we ain't got no dog. I know we ain't got no running back. AK, yes, he's probably cooked. Okay. But whatever running back we wind up getting this offseason, like, can we do some of that stuff? Please.
I'm saving this. Well, I'm going to let this out, but like we'll talk about it more in depth on our Jeremiah Love prospect of the week. Some of what makes Love a very exciting player is his ability in the passing game and the receiving game. If he were to come to the Saints with Kellen Moore's history of not utilizing running backs in the passing game, like does some of that get largely like minimized? I don't know, bro. Like I don't know.
I just can't believe Kellen would be that stupid.
I would hope not, bro. I would hope not.
On,
anyway, like you said, just the importance of having like the depth that the Niners have is important, but the fact that they were able to sign like guys off the street like Eric Kendricks,
depth at that point, it's like
Garrett Werlow, and they was just able to just be able to drop in Robert Saleh's defense and play like outstanding games. Like it's coaching, bro. Like coaching in the NFL goes so far. It goes so far, and I think with that Eagles Niners game, you saw like the opposite ends of the spectrum of like an elite coach. And I know Nick Sirianni won a Super Bowl, but like in terms of like him as an actual coach, I still like scratch my head a little bit of just like
I don't buy it at all.
Just like what competitive advantage do you bring on Sundays? I don't know what it is. I could not tell you what it is.
If he got fired tomorrow, teams would not be lining up. They would not be lining up. I'm sure he'll get some interviews. He'll get a couple interviews, but I don't think teams will be beating down his door. Which is crazy. He just won the Super Bowl. But, you know, we saw the same thing happen with the last coach. I forgot his name.
Doug Peterson?
Pissed off Angelo. Yeah.
Doug Peterson.
But even
Zoom interview.
He at least had like, okay, he was an offensive guy. He had something like you could point to it, be like, okay.
Yeah, and he had some offensive creativity, you know.
Right.
He was, yeah.
But like with Sirianni, it's like, what do you do?
I don't know, bro. manage egos, nigga? Manage tantrums? I don't know, bro.
I don't know.
Shout out to Justin Cash, $2 super chat. Bring me Tyler Higbee. Would love Tyler Higbee. Let's quickly put a bow in it. These last two games, the deep defensive struggles, and then the blowout that the Steelers had. I will say this: what the Patriots did and what the Texans did defensively, that is extremely hard to emulate.
Very hard.
In terms of like building a defense like that. And I just, not only is it hard to emulate building a defense like that, I've also seen defenses like that oftentimes like in crunch time, fourth quarter drive, whatever, they need to stop. No matter how good the defense is, I've seen defenses like that like shrink so many times, like historically.
Yep.
I've just seen it. But all that to say, Miko Ryan is able to do with this Texans team what the Patriots and Grable was able to do. Just stellar defensive jobs. And taken from that, I would completely understand, as much as we're screaming for juice and what have you and wanting juice in round one, if the player at 8 was like a David Bailey, a Caleb Downs, even maybe like a Ruben Bain, and Brandon Staley's like pounding the table for one of them, I could get it because Brandon Staley has shown you what he could do with, pretty low talent on the defensive side of the ball. So you then start thinking like, man, if we got him some players,
Right.
then you like, what could he do? So that's one of my takeaways I have from these last two kind of blowout games.
Absolutely. The one takeaway I had from that Chargers Patriots game, I hate to say it, but boy, offensive line. I mean, that was horrible. I had to go and pull up some of the All-22 today just to see. Like I was like, what really happened in that Chargers game? And it was embarrassment, bro. It was an embarrassment.
Offensive line. It also shows you when you have an offensive coordinator that does not really bring you anything schematically on game day.
Like some of the worst pass concepts you ever see in your life. Like the route concepts or whatever. Just it's like what how is this dude? Like this dude has been on some of the best like teams. Greg Roman, the 49ers with Kaepernick and all of the Ravens, Lamar. The Chargers, like, how is this possible?
White excellence and white privilege, bro. Like I don't.
Bruh, that's unbelievable, man.
That's all it is, bro.
Where my boy at? Dude? Who's the coordinator for Tom Brady with the Bucs?
I know. Brian Leftwich.
Can't even remember his name. Man won a Super Bowl. Can he get a job with, coaching Herbert or something? Damn.
No, that nigga gonna get these DEI Rooney Rule interviews, and that's it, nigga. I remember when he got one this last coaching cycle. I was I know what this is. Don't stop playing.
Could be that, Just give me that Zoom link.
But anything else? Any big takeaway as we wrap this up? We went longer on this episode than I thought we would. Any big takeaway? Just watching these games. And I guess a question I'll end with you is watching these playoff games and these teams, how far do you feel the Saints are from, I'm not even saying competing, but like,
they're far. They're far. They could get in the playoffs. They don't think they're far from that, And I think they could, depending on the matchup, they could make a little noise in the playoffs, but like actual competing, like actually having like a shot to go all the way to the championship game. Sean Payton only got to the championship game 3 times in his entire 15 years with the Saints. 3 times with Drew Brees. Like that's how crazy that is. Got to the championship game. Super Bowl only once, you know what I'm saying? Only, which I'm thankful for. But they got a long way to go, bro. Like, they got a long way to go. Like, one thing I was just looking at stats, bro, like, you got to have a fierce pass rush if you're going to be one of them teams. Got to have a good pass rush. Quarterback play got to be excellent. And the thing about the quarterback play, it has to be balanced where you have your on-schedule, like, good, like, consistent quarterback stuff, but you also got to have the secondary reaction,
like
playmaking
Superman
stuff too.
Put a cape on.
You got to have that cape. They got to. You know what I'm saying? It's why Brock Purdy probably gonna get bounced out at some point in these playoffs. Even though he got a little bit of playmaking in him, but it's just like a little bit. It's tough, bro. It's tough. It's tough to win. Like fans need to know it's really hard to win. Like fans just be so hard. Like what y'all want? Y'all want the Chargers to cut Herbert or something? Like what?
Brother, I'm over the. And I'm not saying that Herbert should be absolved.
I'm not excusing him. No, he should not be absolved. You know what I'm saying?
But like people out here acting like Justin Herbert's like a bottom half NFL quarterback, bro.
Yeah, like you're a bum, man. Like Jordan Love. They're like Jordan Love a bum. I'm like, what? It's a good young quarterback. Like
that's a whole nother conversation.
So you knock your thing out.
I agree with you wholeheartedly in regards to all of that. I would just say, like have fun. I think fans are so like, and I'm not saying like as fans, like we want to get to the playoffs. We want to have that feeling again and things like that. But I do think there's a way to get there. And I've said this earlier, even when the Saints started winning, like not trying to take shortcuts to get there. Because I think that's how teams get themselves in trouble.
100%.
Essentially you have this quarterback that looks great and should be the guy going forward. Build that organically. And when there's an opportunity, if there's a player that, really you feel like fits, and, if you want to spin crazy, you want to get in the guard or whatever, like do that. But like for me, this team, especially front office wise, still has to, and I say front office, I mean Mickey Loomis, there still has to be some measured controlness to them and how they operate. And that's why this offseason to me is going to be very fascinating to see how it unfolds.
Yeah.
Is it going to be controlled, measured, or is that the Saints are interested in AJ Brown coming to New Orleans for a visit? We start seeing that and like, okay, I know what this is.
You know what's up. No, I want targeted aggression. You know what I'm saying? Just be a little aggressive, but like think long term with that aggression, not just like think build. You're building something,
not short sighted. Anyway, we wanted to put this out here Monday evening, so everyone can listen to it for the whole week. Just worked out schedule wise. Like these next couple of days, I'm not getting home till super late, so we did it Monday night. So hope y'all enjoyed this episode, kind of recapping the wild card games and also tying it into the Saints and how they can take some notes and things in terms of getting back to the playoffs. We will, everything goes well. Who that falls said, do you go heavy in free agency for the trenches or DBs, or do you focus more on the draft? I don't know, man. It just depends on who's available. Like I think
we're gonna do a free agency.
Yes. But what I'm gonna do tonight, gonna put it up right after we're done recording this episode on our Patreon, is the voting for the next prospect of the week. So I'm gonna put 3 prospects up, and then whoever wins that poll by Friday, that's who we're gonna talk about. Well, actually, I'm gonna shorten it and have it be like Wednesday, so then we can actually watch them by this weekend. We appreciate y'all coming in, watching this episode. Got more coming this offseason. It's going to be a long offseason, but we got you covered. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. With that, we are out.
Peace.